Welcome to this week's Hormone Chat. I'm Lisa, getting situated on my ball here. Today's Hormone Chat, we will be talking about two different topics, mostly one, but I opened the floor up for questions on two topics. One is hormone replacement therapy, which in itself is, is a really big topic, but I try to specifically address things that y'all are asking. And the other topic is birth control. And I kind of lumped birth control in because, well, I'll explain why, but I just had one question that was asked about birth control. So those are the two things that we're going to be talking about. But as always, if you join the session and have a different question, of course, throw it out there, or if you watch the recording and have one later on. Also, we've been doing these hormone chats weekly for a few weeks now. I would love to hear feedback. I'm actually going to post like a questionnaire to the group to ask. I'm here to serve you guys. So I want to know what would serve you best and whether you would like a kind of a different format of the hormone chats, if weekly is working good, if you would prefer me to email the link to you, if you like the Q&A type format. Again, I am here to serve and support you, and I can only do that at the very best level if I know what's on your mind. So please share that with me when you see those assessments come out. Okay, so first question for today, we're going to start with HRT. I need my expo marker. So first question today, HRT, hormone. For those of you who don't know, hormone HRT stands for hormone replacement therapy. It goes by many names. You might also hear it referred to as medical hormone therapy. So MHT is really kind of the newer term that is trying to make a breakthrough. Medical hormone therapy, because we're trying to kind of move away of the word replacement because it's a little too black and white. It's implying that your hormones are going away. We're directly replacing them. Easy peasy, no more to it. And that's just not the case. So there's medical hormone therapy, hormone replacement therapy. You might have heard BHRT or bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, which applies to a specific type of hormone replacement therapy. So there are different terms out there. So just, look at your acronym, see what is being talked about if you're ever reading or researching something. The first question about HRT is, will it help me lose weight? That is a great question. And that is the reason why a lot of women start HRT, is because maybe they're told that it would help them lose weight, or because they think it will. They read something that made it that said that it will. HRT by itself. So here is, I'm not going to use your name. Here is, Sally. Okay. Sally wants to lose weight. Me saying, Sally, here is a cream. It has progesterone and estrogen in it. There you go. That alone is not going to help Sally lose weight. It might trigger a couple things in her body that help facilitate weight loss if that weight loss is also encouraged by other factors. On the flip side, it might trigger a few things that lead to weight gain. So if you're looking for hormone replacement therapy specifically to lose weight, I wouldn't recommend it. And I'm being honest with you. So I just trying to be fully transparent with you. I'm not against HRT by any means. Actually, I'm a proponent of it in a lot of cases, but I'm not a proponent of it when it comes to, I want to lose weight, I want this to be my magic pill, because it won't be. And gosh, I have worked with hundreds, if not thousands, at least I've worked with thousands, but at least crossed paths, communicated, talked to thousands of women on hormone replacement therapy. And I've got to tell you, most of the time, one of the more common side effects is weight gain. And that doesn't have to be the thing. It can help you lose weight, but not in silo. You have to also tackle your weight management through different avenues. So that is why I do work with clients on HRT in my one-on-one program. And we will most definitely work the heck out of your HRT if you're already on it and use it to our benefit, because it can cause a lot of benefit, including for weight loss, but with everything else. So I hope that helps with that question. If you want to know more about those other things that also come in and help with weight management and how to make all of your hormone managing tools work together, let me know. Book a call. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about, you don't need to throw that HRT out the window, nothing like that. But let's talk about how we can use it for your advantage and how we can use it to help you get to your weight goals rather than relying on it solely to help you get to your weight goals. Okay. Why is it bad for you? Why is HRT bad for you? So you have to backtrack a little before that question and say, is it really bad for you? There's a lot of different thoughts on that. I've actually talked about that a little more in depth in a previous hormone chat, but there are pros and cons of HRT. There is a lot of good that can come from HRT, but there are certain people who aren't candidates for hormone replacement therapy. And the reason for that, or the main reasons, to answer the question as directly as possible, the main reasons that HRT would be considered quote unquote bad by someone would be, it can be hard on the liver. So that's one thing to be cautious of. If you have a history of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, really any hormone dependent cancer, then that would be a risk factor or a time where you might be advised not to use hormone replacement therapy. Pregnancy or breastfeeding, of course. If you have a history of blood clots or stroke, that would be a big situation where we would definitely want to do a lot of investigation. No matter what, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm a doctor of pharmacy. So I'm providing you with information about these things, but I want to make sure that you all understand that, of course, you always want to keep all of your healthcare providers in the loop as well. Those are the biggest reasons that people look at HRT as bad for you. So there's the cancer risk, stroke risk. Those are the biggies. And again, if somebody's had a history of liver issues, then that is an issue as well. So those are the main ones. If anybody has any more specific things on why it is quote unquote bad for you, let me know. Even in those cases, I've worked with clients who had precancerous cells or stage 1 breast cancers. And it's not to say that you can't ever go on HRT. And another thing too is hormone replacement therapy does not always mean estrogen. And estrogen is typically the one that we have the issues with. So all of these things with cancer, stroke, etc., that's really an estrogen thing. So we got to kind of separate that out. So there is hormone replacement that you could go on that wouldn't have those types of risks. Okay. So it doesn't have to be estrogen that does have those risks. Progesterone, and progesterone oftentimes make women feel better than anything, and all they need is that alone. Or testosterone is an option. It's really just the estrogen that has more risks. When should I start HRT? Well, there is no should start because it is different for everyone. You might never need to start HRT. In fact, most women don't, some women do. So there's not necessarily a black and white when you should start. It's very person specific. You're always wanting to look at the pros and cons of your hormone replacement therapy. So, in general, I typically when I work with clients who aren't on HRT, depending on where they're at in perimenopause, we try to avoid it if we can. But again, it's pros and cons. If you are so symptomatic that we really, really need to go on HRT, at least for a period of time, I would do it kind of more towards that later perimenopause window if possible. There's 4 different stages of perimenopause. So that this window of perimenopause, which can last up to 10 years, is broken down into 4 stages. And the last 2, well, the third stage is where people tend to get more symptomatic. So I try to refrain from adding in hormone replacement therapy until that time period, if possible. But again, everybody's different. I would not recommend starting HRT if you are still cycling and you're wanting to continue cycling, because that can really, it can definitely throw some wrenches into your cycle. So that's something to consider as well. Okay. We're going to move on to birth control because I haven't had any added questions come in. So we're going to move over to birth control. And the question that I got on birth control says, I'm 49 and I'm still on birth control. I never cared about that in the past, but I'm starting to wonder if that is damaging my body. Are there any issues with that? So when you're on birth control, when you're on any form of external estrogen, in the pharmacy world, we call it exogenous. If you're on any type of external or exogenous hormone, something that's coming from the outside, you're putting it in, whether that be birth control pills that you take, whether that be a IUD, Mirena, whatever it may be. So those are synthetic estrogen, or keep saying estrogen now, synthetic hormones, whether it be those things or whether it be a bioidentical hormone. So something that is seen as more natural, like HRT we were just referring to. Most of those are bioidentical, which is seen by the body as a bit more natural. It's not natural, but your body sees it that way. Any of these external sources of hormones, they have one thing in common: synthetic, bioidentical, horse urine, I don't care where it comes from, they have one thing in common. They all will suppress your body's own natural hormone production. So think about your goals. If you're trying to decide, should I be on HRT? Should I still be on my birth control? Should I start taking hormones? Make sure that you understand this concept really well. Any hormones that you put inside your body are going to start to suppress or shut down your body's natural hormone production. So if you are at a point in life where you're trying to help your hormone production, support your hormone production, I want to make more hormones, being on birth control or hormone replacement therapy is not going to do that. Your body really struggles to make its own hormones when you are taking those things. So it's super important that you're just aware of that concept, because boosting my hormones or, balancing my hormones naturally while I'm taking hormones don't go hand in hand. Doesn't mean that we can't do our best to make the two things work together. I do it a lot and we still can see some success with it. But in a perfect scenario, we would be boosting your body's own natural hormone production. So I'm 49 and still on birth control. My biggest concern with that, well, a couple of things. And let's push aside any reasons you might be on it. So let's assume that you don't really have to be on it, but you're choosing to be on it, maybe because it regulates your periods. Okay, so as you move further into perimenopause, there's a good chance that you would be more symptomatic, that you wouldn't be without being on the birth control, because of what I just said and the fact that your birth control is making it so that your body's not making hormones on its own, as well as it should, or as well as it would otherwise. So your body's hormones are already down here because you've got this birth control pill you're taking. So your hormones are already down here because of that. And now let's say you reach your 45 and you achieve perimenopause. So your hormones naturally start going down, 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 down. So now they're even lower than where they started. And now you're 49. I'm not sure if you're in perimenopause or where you're at, but let's say you are, and you're just in the thick of it, nearing menopause. Your hormones are just low, 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 low. And then you have these synthetic hormones on board. So your body is just like, I don't know what the heck is going on at this point. So again, if you're trying to boost your natural hormones as you move into perimenopause and menopause, I would recommend moving off of birth control for that reason. This is a hypothetical scenario, hypothetical person. Don't think I'm telling you or anybody out there to quit taking your birth control. In this hypothetical scenario, I have seen it be successful to remove the birth control and then focus on boosting your natural hormones. I've also worked with a lot of clients where we do it on a little bit different timeline. We can start implementing strategies to boost your natural hormone production. So those things are already in place, and then remove the birth control. That's another strategy we can take. Aside from that, we have a lot of data showing that as many natural ovulation cycles as you can get before you reach menopause, the better it is for your long-term health. So if you're 49 and on birth control, and let's say you've been on it for 20 years, I mean, who knows, a lot of us do that, then you have not ovulated in a long time. The ovulation system, ovulation, ovaries, making estrogen and progesterone, that is a very integral part of a female's body. So if that system has been shut down for many, many years, there's a lot of things that come with that inside your body. So if we can kind of reset your body in a sense, or detox, I'm wanting to use that word, but if we can flush out the synthetic estrogen or the synthetic hormones from your birth control and allow your body the chance to have some fresh ovulation cycles before you hit menopause, the benefit that has on your bone strength, for example, on the health of your breast tissue, on your brain, your cognitive function, the benefits of getting in those even like a couple of years of cycles of ovulation, whatever you can get, the better for your long-term health. So think when you're 60, 70, and we have a lot of research supporting this. So it's something that I'm pretty passionate about. If doable, to remove the birth control, at least for a while, as long as possible before you reach menopause, the better. Okay, let's see. Did I think those are my main concerns with that? So the fact that we're suppressing your natural hormone production, we're not getting in any ovulation cycles, we're not going through that cycle. Those are definitely the issues. I mean, I can go on about other concerns with birth control. Birth control, depending on the type, can significantly lower your natural testosterone levels. And as we age, I know libido and energy becomes a big thing. So birth control has a direct negative impact on those areas. That's always one of the first things I look at for women who are really struggling with libido issues. Are we still on birth control? Because that is a major contributing factor. So those are my main concerns with birth control. Thank you for asking that question, because it's a lot to unpack, but I think it's something that a lot of women wonder about, because it's like we start birth control and then it's like, shoot, our kids are 18 and we're still on this. Maybe I should think about getting off of it. So that's good. It's a great question to ask. Thank you for all of today's questions. And again, if you watch the replay and have questions, let me know. I am here for you. Have a great day.